The White House seems to just be waking up to the crisis that we've been living with for months. Texas has been consistently busing migrants to D.C., New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Denver, and Los Angeles, something that we have covered extensively on this program and on this network. But with over 260,000 people crossing the border in September alone, many other cities are feeling the strain as well, like Boston, struggling to find housing for migrant families. And it's gotten so bad that, according to reports, ahead of the Army-Navy game at Gillette Stadium, some hotels have started canceling rooms that had been booked by veterans and families of the players to house migrants instead. San Jose says they've now seen a resurgence of migrants being bused overnight, while more than 10,000 asylum seekers have arrived in San Diego over the last few weeks, putting shelters in danger of shutting down due to a lack of resources. Speaking of resources, early estimates for the cost of this crisis top $200 billion. That's right, billion per year. And what are the migrants getting with all this aid? Well, I'm glad you asked that because we have the answer. Obviously, they're getting food and shelter, medical assistance too. But what about free college tuition, foreclosure prevention, and even legal support? Yes, all of that stuff that people who pay taxes in this country don't necessarily get. Here with us now, Making Money host, Charles Payne.
Hello, I'm here.
I'll just tee it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen, it's, golly, it's almost hard to know where to begin, but I think the crux of this is that this was always a major financial problem for Americans. It just didn't matter to Democrats as long as it was happening in red states and red cities. And as soon as those migrants were bused to places like Martha's Vineyard, how quick did they get them out of Martha's Vineyard? Oh my goodness. I mean, these are the people that have preached to us tolerance, that have called every Republican a racist. I mean, of course, you have some of these, the guy in Rhode Island, right? He goes to a country club that won't even allow black people, and somehow he can still call Republicans racist. But it's one thing to have the rhetoric. It's another thing to say, golly, this really is expensive.
But you've got, on the one hand, you've got Mayorkas saying we need to do more on the wall. Then you've got Biden today, who rarely says anything to the press. No, we're not doing border walls. So even if they were going to go in this direction, they're doing it with one step forward, one step back, which means it's not going to work, even if they try. They're not for it.
Right. It's not going to be, it was never going to be wholehearted, right? It wasn't, the attempt from President Trump was to build one completely, right? All the obstacles that he faced, we were lucky that we got any built. But if you listen to the rationale, I think is more important because it sounded just like Afghanistan. The botched retreat from Afghanistan was, our hands were tied. The previous administration said, okay, let the soldiers leave and leave the women behind. I mean, is that what the previous administration did? So the blame game, President Biden, I guess from 50 years being a politician, always defaults to the other guy, the other person, the other party. And I think that's so unfair in this particular, in general, right? I don't ever vote for anyone who tells me about someone else. I always vote for someone who tells me what they can do, how they'll achieve something. But it's even more acute of a problem now because of the circumstances. There's a dark cloud over our country. There's an economic malaise. There's a sentiment malaise. If you look at every sentiment read from economic to voters, something is wrong. And just saying, hey, it's the other guy who did this is not right.
I always like to think and wonder about how our markets, our economy perhaps reflect some of these policy decisions. This is huge spending to support an ongoing migrant crisis that shows no signs of letting up anytime soon. And this is as we have a deficit that is just continuing to grow. And then also, Charles, this week we have a lot of volatility in the markets as we have huge change in leadership in Congress. Do you think that's part of the reason why we had, a sell-off earlier this week that we're seeing the markets react?
If you connect the dots, there's a few things. The irony with a lot of these policies, whether they're, major big government, welfare state kind of stuff, it actually helps a lot of companies like a Walmart, for instance. All these illegal immigrants who come here have to buy food, have to buy clothes and things like that. So actually, TJ Maxx is going to make a lot of money off of it. Who's paying for it? The American taxpayer, right. If you want to connect the dots to some of the other turmoil, it all gets back to fiscal spending. In fact, I think Wall Street is starting to galvanize around the idea that we can't solve the volatility and the angst in this market until we tap down on fiscal spending. I mean, and this is across the political ideology. I'm watching more and more people on the street that I know are on the left saying it all comes back to spending. If we keep spending the way we are, that means we have to issue more treasuries.
Yeah.
We issue more treasuries, have to make them more attractive. To make them more attractive, we have to hike the yields.
Yeah.
The hiking the yields has, since the dollar higher, interest rates higher, it's a vicious, deadly, ugly thing that Americans feel right away. Americans don't need it to see it on a spreadsheet. They don't need to hear it in the earnings report call. They feel it immediately, and no one's listening to them.
That's a great point. And with interest rates rising, that whole issue just keeps getting more and more severe. But I got to ask you, tomorrow's jobs day, that's a big number. I would say a particularly big number this week, given how much interest rates have hit stocks. What do you think we're going to get, Charles? You can see the expectations on the board.
You know, this is the biggest coin flip thing in the world. Let's put it this way. We've never had every single month of a year up until now has been revised lower. This is how bad they are. I mean, they missed last year on the upside over and over again. Sometimes, though, it felt like the fix was in, right? It was like 14 months in a row, came in better than expected, something nuts. So now it's the exact opposite. They're revising them lower. I thought it was interesting after the initial jobless claims, which came in about 2,000 less than the street, 3,000. The whisper number went up from 180 to 187 tomorrow. The official number is 170. I tell you what to look for, though. Forget about the overall number. Wages, if wage growth continues to slow and work week continues to slow, I think that's what the Fed wants to see, and participation goes up. Those are the three things I'm looking for tomorrow. But as far as betting on it, you know what? It's just, you'd be better off going to Vegas, man. Get a couple drinks and watching the show.
Book my ticket. Charles Payne, thank you so much.
Okay.
Also, be sure to tune into a special edition of Making Money with Charles Payne. It's on October 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Unbreakable Investor Town Hall. To join that live studio audience in New York City, go to eventbrite.com and search Charles Payne. A lot of answers to how to invest in this environment, which is tricky for people, Charles.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks.